Well, howdy, 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 everybody. Theresa here with
Randy.
and the critters, of course, on this kind of rainy day, but it's nice out still. Pull off my glasses. I know, I was out in the rain, so that's why I kind of look kind of frizzied and disheveled is because of that. Right, Charlie, Charlie? He's being a love bug. How you like my hand? Oh, look at his hand. Watch it. Yeah, wait, I gotta put my phone down. I love collect little things like this. Watch this. Look at that. Isn't it cool? It's this little wheel underneath it. So you can have it like across something. See? I know. I love it. I love little things like this. You know. The little kid in me. What can I say? Yes, I know. I would have combed my hair for you people. In fact, I still could. We can do live on-air hair combing. Wow. It doesn't get out any more real life than that. You know how you always got to have that one tangle that just going to be at the nape of your neck, and it's just going to kill you when you're combing your hair, and you're just like, ah. There we go. Not much better, but I tried. You guys know I tried now. It is, we don't want to look at that, the ever-growing grocery list. You know how you have that grocery list, and I'm trying to see if what I just added is on there. Hang on just a minute. Let's see. Now we got to see if, let's see. I'm trying to find my, there we go. Pickup and delivery. Sorry, I'm trying to check my order for tomorrow morning. I just forgotten dog trees, so I just added them. I'm trying to make sure I really added them. And you guys know this is important. Because them dogs don't have those treats. They're going to be mighty unhappy. They will come and remind us if they don't get their treats. Every day, every day. Okay, they're on there.
And they'll also try to con us out of extra treats.
Oh, yeah. But like just a little bit ago, I can't show you the container that the treats live in because this is a high budget film production. It's holding my little ring light, my little portable one. So, but basically Nixie will come and bug you and keep going over right in front of that treat container, and or else Charlie will take and he'll start nudging it. So, but anyway, I'm putting the grocery. You know how you do it. Those of you that maybe you make a list and you go to the store still. Maybe you are the types that's like us who will make a list and order it and then pick it up. In either account, that list starts out a lot smaller than it ever ends up. It's just like you go into a store for a couple of items and you end up with a 20-item order. And you're like, I came in here for 2 items. What happened? Especially if I don't fall into this anymore. I used to when I was younger. Something's massively on sale that you love, and they just put it out, and everybody starts going all around that bin and pulling out stuff, and you're like, oh my, I better get some, and you start, like maybe you start throwing stuff over your shoulder to your husband or boyfriend or child. That might be when you want to have the child wear a helmet, though. Right, honey?
Yeah.
Well, these days, a helmet and a mask. In fact, why don't you just do the whole all-over body armor? That would be probably best. But anyway, I digress. So the grocery list, because we didn't really buy anything much last month. Mainly that was all prescription. Every 3 months it hits us really hard, especially on the prescription, because, well, insulin costs. When we get insulin, and we get in all of our injectables, is that for a month for each of us?
No, it's $10 for a month for each. It's for each of the two JOs and each
So
of
it's
the.
for $50 for the two of us?
Yes.
Okay. But like when you go get my Trujillo, that's supposed to be for a month for me?
Yeah.
Okay. That was just wondering. I'm trying to figure out the cost of, because we have a lot more prescriptions and we have a lot more insulin.
Yeah.
Especially me. So I'm trying to figure out what this is going to cost us. So I think it runs about $200 probably a month for prescription meds. Like, I know that probably doesn't seem like a whole lot, and that's out of pocket. But when you're on a tight budget, it can be, especially when your doctor calls in a new prescription or whatever, and you're like, wasn't really counting on a new prescription. Thank you.
And if we had to pay full retail for our scripts, last time
Lord.
last time I figured it out, if we had to pay full retail, it would be over $3,000 a month.
And that's what, for those of you that do not have health insurance, go, and what do they type in? Obamacare?
Yeah, and that'll take you to the proper.
That'll take you to the proper. We end up paying a very, very low cost for our insurance, and you have to, be somebody who contacts you, and they'll kind of seem like they're salespeople at first, and then you got to pick the best insurance plan for you. Brad picked a really good one for us this year, and it's like we pay $1 copay for our doctor, $2 if they're a specialist. Now that really saves us. Like, I see a kidney doctor. I also have infectious disease doctors. I don't have to see them right now because I'm having infections. Thank you, Lord. Diabetic doctor, and then my regular doctor. So, but yes, go in there, check it out. You don't have to sign up for anything that you don't want, but it won't hurt to see what your options are. Sometimes the fear versus the reality is so much worse. So, it won't hurt to check it out, guys, okay? Don't think that all is lost and that you just don't have any options. Because we all need health care, especially if you're our age or older. Most of us have to see a doctor for something. If you don't, bless you, I'm happy for you, seriously. What are we going to do today? Well, we went and ran and got a little bit of lunch. Brad got his pension in. I got to pay bills here later. I did our pills yesterday, and I finished late last night. We couldn't sleep, so it was like almost 5 o'clock in the morning. I finished my latest diamond painting. I'm going to show that to you guys. This is that one that was the eerie scene. See, is that? So, yeah, it's pretty cool. So, and now I've got one all ready to go. It'll be the next one that I do, which will be this one. And there's a set of 6. They all have different sayings, and they're all about the same color scheme. And this one is because someone we love is in heaven. I can't. Oh, let's see. Because someone we love is in heaven. I can't read what the rest of it is. It's like there's a little bit of heaven. There's a bit of heaven in our home. So, which is so true. As we lose loved ones and stuff, But we always remember them, and bits and pieces of their mannerisms or what they taught us rub off on us. And yeah, Brad's been a little sad, and I totally understand. It's coming up on the anniversary of his mom passing away. Her birthday was just very recently, and her anniversary death is August 8th.
Third.
3rd? August 3rd. And then his birthday's on the 12th, and our 32nd wedding anniversary is August 13th. Happens to be the same day that they're closing on his mom's house. So, yeah, 32 years. We're not planning anything special because we just don't really have the funds to do such. So we'll do it later on. But yeah, 32 years that we've been together. We've been together longer than that, but been married for 32 years. And I will re-up for another couple of years.
Okay.
I'll do 5 years at a time.
Okay.
And we'll see how it's going. Okay?
Okay.
So, I always tell them I'm going to re-up. So, yeah, that's about what we're doing. We were going to pack, and we don't have to actually really start packing until the 1st of August, and then there's just no holds barred. But we've both been very, very sore, especially Brad. And I'm sore and I'm kind of all over body ache. Brad had a little bit of the flu yesterday. Wasn't it yesterday? Or was it the day before that?
Both.
Yeah. And, so that's been going on. And, I gotta put one other thing on here. Maybe. Check it out. Yeah. One more thing on here. And it will be, not that. Yeah, that. Almost done, guys. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okie dokie. I gotta turn my fan on. I gotta turn my fan on. Whew. Much nicer, right? Right. And I know I'm really boring today. I'm sorry. Maybe I just want you guys to hang out with me, be my friend. We just got done talking with our daughter, visiting with her for a little bit. Seeing how things are going there. My granddaughter's doing fine. She's in Wyoming visiting a family there, and spending time with her dad and the family there, so that's all good. My sister-in-law had to have a permanent shunt put in her today, and she did fine with that surgery. I can't remember, either Friday or Saturday they put in a shunt, right, hon?
I thought it was Monday.
Was it Monday?
I don't remember.
No. Anyway, Monday we spoke with. Anyway, they had a few days prior. They put in a emergency shunt, and so then they went in this morning and put in a permanent one. She's still in ICU. I don't know when she's getting out. major lifestyle changes. You know, I hope she'll be okay. Nobody really knows if she's going to get back to her prior self, or I mean, I think something like that always will change you forever. I mean, you know, so I don't know. But you know, my brother-in-law doing okay. Um, like I said, they also have a handicapped adult son. Well, they have three boys, but they have the youngest one is now an adult, and he's handicapped and stuff. So a lot of challenges for that family. Uh, we are, and I don't know if we have talked too much. We've talked a little bit about it, but we pretty much have decided that we are moving up to North Carolina, probably in outside of Raleigh. Very excited about it, and we already were. Expedition Unknown happened to have a special on Roanoke civilization and Croatian archaeological sites, and so we were watching that, and that's not too awfully far, and we're very excited, and so you were just gonna kind of go for gusto. We're not sure if Brad will go up and find a property, depending on it. All hinges on whatever portion he gets from his mom's house. And I mean, we're not talking massive amounts of money. It's enough for us probably to move. And so, whether or not we have enough to put down for a down payment on a home, or if we rent a home, and then so it depends on if we were trying to buy a home. That means we would probably need to stay in like an apartment you could rent by the month that was furnished, or maybe a motel that you rent by the month or something, you know, that has a little kitchenette. We're not sure how that will all work out. But yeah, that's why I say we have to start packing on the 1st of August and be pretty relentless on getting what we can every day done. It won't take that long. Some of this stuff I've never really unpacked, simply because the way the trailer is, there wasn't enough room. So there are a number of things still in totes, especially all underneath our beds. We actually got bed frames that were raised up a couple more inches than the standard, and that was so we could slide totes underneath there. There's totes with books, with clothes, with like holiday decorations, that kind of stuff. So that stuff simply can just already be taken. I bought like 4 clear, smaller totes that we can put some kitchen stuff that you would need right away, like spices and a few pots and pans and stuff. Um, and um, so I'm very excited. We're ready for the next journey. The adventure continues, guys. And like I said, we're going to take you guys with us and stuff. If I could still vlog with being in an RV, I can do it this way. It's about 10 hours up there from where we're located. So, but we're very, very excited about this. It's not too awfully far from the ocean, and it has mountains, and it has some of the most beautiful waterfalls, beautiful landscaping and stuff. I need to be around this kind of stuff to inspire me more as an artist. You know, because one of the things that I was going to talk about is you use it or you lose it. And we never know when our life will drastically change. And as far as, you know, any of us could pass away tomorrow, or you could lose the ability to do something and not even realize it for a while. Now, with my shoulder problem, And it may not seem that bad in the daytime, but I'll tell you what, Brad hears me sometimes up crying because my shoulder pain and arm pain is so bad. Don't you, honey?
Yeah.
And I try not to. Or in the morning when I get up.
Last night was one of those nights.
Was a bad night. Was a really bad night. I realize with that I will never probably be able to bowl again in my life. And then that might not be a big issue to most of you. But like I said, my grandparents owned a bowling alley. So that was part of my life. They took over ownership of the bowling alley July 1st, and I was born that same year, July 4th. So when I say I was raised in a bowling alley, I mean I really was spent a lot of time in that bowling alley. I realize I will never be able to lift weights. Now, I love to lift weights. And that's why my arms are still pretty muscular. But I won't be able to do it anymore. I just can't. In the morning, in order to get my arms to loosen up some, even though it is so painful, I will do some exercises, just extending my arms and raising them. And it takes a long time, especially for the left. I call that one my sloth arm, and this one is my sloth arm on speed because it's a little bit faster. You got to have some humor about it. But anyway, to loosen it up and stuff so I can even get dressed, I'll be honest. Brad has to help me put a bra on. I'm going to have to, when he does get some money and stuff, I'm going to have to order some bras that are like front closure because I can't. I wear sports bras and I can't hold them down. I don't have the physical strength. My arms are very weak also. Brad has to help me pull down my shirts and stuff sometimes, depending on how bad the pain is and how bad the limited mobility. It's just like I help him with a lot of different stuff. But you've got to keep using and doing the things you love because you never can tell when tomorrow may come and you can no longer do it. Now, one of the things with us being diabetic is the eyesight. And they always really caution you on this. So as an artist, I want to make sure that I get a lot of artwork in because what if I do lose my eyesight later on? I know people that have, like doing the diamond painting. There are times I have trouble doing it because my hands will shake because of the neuropathy or my hands will keep going numb. Especially in the morning when I first start doing it. And Brad will see me doing this a lot because I'm trying to get my hands to, wake back up. But I cope with it and I do the best I can. But I'm just saying, whatever you love to do, keep doing it because you never can tell when tomorrow will come and you can't do it. Brad used to be one of the best shooters in the state of Wyoming. Phenomenal accuracy and eye. And now, because of his neuropathy and his handshakes and his eyesight, he no longer really can do it. Now, he's still very good. Like, he has a slingshot and some paintballs. And he's pretty good with that still. And I would like to get one of those. I want a paintball gun. Just because I think it would be fun to go out and just, with a target, I just think it would be fun. So, or maybe I'll just do a slingshot and some paintballs because that would be cheaper. Um, you know, just something. We used to enjoy going out shooting and stuff, but now, you know, that's changed. But yeah, keep doing what you love doing because you never know. You never know when it will all change. And another thing I was going to talk about is we're talking about. Didn't that program say that North Carolina had some of the oldest trees, honey?
Not that I remember.
Yeah, remember that we were watching it and they were going and getting core samples from some of the trees.
Oh, they were talking about that some of those trees in that area were around 400 to 500 years ago.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you heard of the tree. Some of the trees in North Carolina are around 4 to 5 years old, and so they were taking core samples to see if they thought that these people had perished because of famine. Anyway, you guys know I love trees. I'm into trees, always have been. It will come to no surprise to you then that I can vividly remember as a child that we had this tree, and it was a smooth trunk tree, and I don't know what kind it was, but it put out these big pods that would grow bigger over the summer, and they would have like 3 or 4 big seeds in them. And then as the summer wore on, they would, of course, dry up and drop off and stuff. And you could take them off the tree when they were green, or you could take them off when they were brown, and you could open them, and there would be these big pods. But it just had 3 big main branches coming out of it before it went into so many thousands of branches. And I remember running my hands along the texture of the trunk. When I was smaller, I'd get in between the 3 trunks. And I spent a lot of time around that particular tree. It was our biggest shade tree in the front yard. And I remember watching caterpillars crawl up it also. And then we had a pine tree. And I remember when that pine tree was real small, it ended up getting quite big right by our front door. But at Christmas time, my dad and I would put the great big Christmas bulbs. We string those lights up and plug them in, and it was so pretty against the snow and stuff. The real big old-fashioned. And then we had a stinking crabapple tree. And I say because it only started to really put out crab apples a couple of years before we moved. And sure, it was pretty when it bloomed in the spring. But then, nobody wanted the crab apples, and they're dropping off. They're getting worms in them. The only thing they were good for is you get some of them that were real wormy, and I would trick my brother into going up with his friend up to the top of the street. Why don't you guys race down on your bikes? And me and a neighbor boy right across the street, we'd be armed with all these wormy crab apples. And tell we had on telling Mom, tell we had on telling Mom. Oh, we didn't know you were coming down like that. We were going to throw them at each other. Yeah. Hey, I was inventive on stuff to do because back then we did not have video games or anything. There was one TV in the house. You got like 3 channels, and your mother had the channel. You were the remote controller, right? If she wanted it turned down, turn the volume up or down, or she wanted the channel changed, you were the one who did it. Now, you touch that, even if you think she's asleep or in another room, no, it's like supersonic hearing, X-ray vision through walls. Yeah, you knew not to touch it. No, there was none of this, having all the, channels and no Netflix or anything like that. So, and you didn't hang on the phone either. No, my mom hung on the phone a lot. And she'd have the old rotary dial, and she'd have it strung across the front room. You had to go hang that up too once you've done. So, you best just stay outside if you didn't want to have to be the slave. So, you know. But, I mean, I remember that you guys remember, well, we were on a traditional block. And if somebody would leave their yard watering way too long, that waters are going to go down the gutter. So it could be coming down the street, and all of us kids think this is awesome, right? And of course, the higher up you live on the block, the better, because you can dam that up, and the other kids don't get any, or very little. So we used to dam up, and stuff, and then float like little plastic boats, or we might make some, or, cars, or,
We used to ride our bikes over their dams.
Oh, really? That's cruel. No, I think we did that a few times, too. Yeah, probably. Because, the big 8th division, okay? On my block, there was only me and boys that were around my age. And then there was, like, a bunch of kids around my brother's age, boys and girls. So I was a real big tomboy anyway. I always was. I still am on some stuff, aren't I, honey?
Yes, you are.
And I don't even care anymore. I'm not even going to pretend. I don't even care anymore, right? I just don't. I'm 56 years old. At some point in time, you're like, I am. That's how I am. I even tell my husband, I'm an asshole sometimes. I know it. Now I can't monetize this because I just said that. But oh well. I don't care. I am, though. I can be a real a-hole sometimes. And I know this. And I try not to be, but there are times, and then I got to go right behind myself and tell him I'm sorry. That the Wicked Witch of the West, she came traveling out here, and she visited our house. Or else I'll say that the mean girl's coming out of me, and I'm stuffing her back in. And you should be so proud of me. I want chocolate so bad. It's like, but I can't. I can't. Anyway, I did buy some cocoa powder because I'm going to make some reduced sugar brownies sometime in the next month, I think. Or I might just make just a real super small pan, or maybe I'll make a normal pan and freeze half. I don't know. Anyway. And then I used to love to lay in the grass and watch the clouds go by. I could do that for hours. If you watch them enough, you almost get kind of this spacey feeling. If you're watching clouds move long enough, Stop looking at me. Why are you looking at me?
Because you're right in front of me.
I can't see you. I don't have my glasses on anyway. I can see the image of you, the outline. Anyway, and it will come as a big surprise to you, too. We were never allowed to have any cats growing up. My mom hates cats. I think we've already talked about this. But I always had usually a dog with me. Dogs were always my very best friends. I mess with my dogs all the time, just like I do nowadays. They usually were with me, on a leash or something, wherever I was, or else if I was in the house. I mean, if we were in the backyard, of course, it didn't have to be on a leash. But if I was in the front yard. And then if I was in my bedroom, my dog was usually there. I had this dog, and she was kind of a husky type, Siberian husky type, but a lot smaller. Her name was Taffy. And I would always cover her up. And she's always with me, and I'd bathe her, and I'd brush her, and I'd mess with her. And I was the only one, when she was getting ready to pass away, that she'd let even near her. And then I had a dog, and her name was Buffy, and she was a Cocker Spaniel. And she usually was with me as a teenager. I would be in my car. I would come home, after school if I didn't have to work that day. And I would load her up in the car, and she and I'd go tooling around town. I didn't care what anybody thought about it, you know. So, yeah, I've always been messing with animals and stuff. I always am now, you know, with our 2 dogs and our cat, you know. Yeah. So we all did pretty much back to moving to North Dakota, not North Dakota. Couldn't pay me enough money. No offense to anybody that live in North Dakota, but no. North Carolina is, we're not going to most likely live with our daughter or vice versa, or if this all happened, it would be just a very temporary thing. Because, see, she has a completely different lifestyle than we do. I mean, even just the age difference alone, she's got 2 teenagers, and, you know, it's just, Brad and I, and she's got 4 cats and a dog, and we've got our 2 dogs and one very old cat who does not like other cats, hates other cats. And also, like when we had Jasper, it was not fair to Angel because he had his claws, and she does not. She came to us already, somebody had already declawed her. So it's not really fair to her. My daughter has 4 cats. They all have their claws. And also, Brad is severely allergic to cats. He can tolerate our cat somewhat. He has to watch how much he pets her. He tries to not pick her up for that reason, because her hair and her dander gets on him, and then his neck will swell up, and right underneath his jaw line, and his throat and everything, and then he's having an asthma attack. Well, can you imagine what 4 of them will do to him? We know Angel will be our last cat. Unless we got a hairless cat, and there's no way we could afford that, and because I'm going to have a pet pig, so we're going to do, we're going to do the pig. I'm either going to name it Chops or Wiggly, I'm not sure which, and, so that would not work. That would not work. He would not be able to breathe at all. Basically, she has a big one who I love, whose name's Apollo. He's a huge cat. And he sheds like crazy, though. So, anyway, my granddog misses me. Her dog, Burke. He's a little beagle. He's so cute. He's very used to our feeding schedule around here when they were here. In fact, he's a smart dog. I mean, most dogs are, except for that greyhound we had. Dog. He was sweet as could be, but he was like, the dog was so dumb that he got out of the yard a couple of times. One time, there was a grassy median right down our street, and it had real low, super low. You could step over these ropes, and then a little wooden post, and just decorative. He couldn't figure out how he might be able to get over it. Yeah. And the other time he got out of the yard, he just went up a couple houses and went. They had a chain link yard, and the gate was open. He just went in there and laid in their yard. But anyway, Burke, my daughter's little beagle, the minute Brad would pick up the dog dishes, he'd beat it out there. He's ready for dinner. So I told my daughter, I said, tell Burke that Nana misses him, and she's like, yeah, well, his tummy misses you guys. So Brad's out there with his salt rifle shooting a fly. Did you get it?
Yeah.
It takes table salt. Look it up. What are they called?
Bug assault.
Bug assault. If you're looking for something kind of different to get your husband, or maybe an older boy, or maybe a girl, yeah, because they can take and they can shoot bugs. Don't anybody tell me how mean this is, okay? It's not. These bugs are mean to us. They started it. Didn't they, honey?
Yes,
They all started it with us. So anyway,
Well, I don't know if they can hear me.
everybody can hear you, Brad.
'Cause I've got
The
a big
next
mouth.
county called and said, "Quiet down."
But for most of my adult life, I have had the philosophy of if you're going to kill something, you better eat it.
Right.
And in any kind of game animals or anything like that, I would not take a game animal unless I was going to eat it. The difference is with bugs. I will go on a shooting spree with bugs.
Yeah, they started.
Yeah.
I did not invite them in my house.
No.
Also, any game animal that you were going to harvest to provide meat on our table did not come in my house uninvited.
No.
You know, well, and even then, even when we needed it, Brad did not kill game animals because, I mean, he had chances to have some shots and do such, but they were so beautiful and stuff that a lot of time he purposely would scare them away because he mainly just liked to go on the hunting trip just for the walk and to be the camp cook. So it's cool with me, you know.
Yep.
So anyway, I'm gonna get off here. I know I bored y'all to tears, but I'm sorry. Okay, what else were you doing with the COVID going on? The COVID has made everybody just a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs anyway. And yeah, so anyway, I do love you guys. And what else was I going to say? Wait, I love you guys. And I do cherish your friendship so very much. Wow. And I'm not sleeping worth a crap at all still. And what else, honey?
Say goodbye, Brad.
No, what else? I think you guys are awesome. Wow.
Be kind to each other.
Be kind to each other. Be patient with each other. You know, whether or not somebody wears a mask, that's up to them. Just know if you're wearing a mask, then you've got some extra protection. If you're not wearing a mask and somebody is, just let them do their thing, okay? Can we all just get along? I mean, let's embrace each other's differences, because how boring would this world be if we were all the same?
Yeah.
They do not need a million Theresas running the streets. Let me tell you. Right, honey?
Yep.
Okay. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Say bye, Brad.
Bye, Brad.
Bye, guys.